Okay.
Good day, podcast community. Pete Kane here, community builder, podcaster, coach, and we have a special guest in the studio. And we're going to bring you knowledge, expertise through Virginia's story so you can
Mhm.
have a better understanding to walk away with things that'll help you and help others that are interested in this topic. So, Virginia,
Yes.
tell our viewers who you are, what you do, and who you serve, and then we'll get into our conversation podcast.
So my name is Virginia Kimani, originally from Kenya, and I live in Marietta, Georgia. I used to live in Boston, and then I moved to Marietta. So, been in the U.S. for about 25 years. So it's been a long time, but I do educate people about financial literacy. But when I'm not doing that, I do nursing. I'm a nurse by profession.
Say that again, the last part.
I'm a nurse by professional.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's funny, right before you, which was at, let me think, 2:30, I had
Mm-hmm.
Stephen, hold on, Bass, and he had just come back from a mission trip from Kenya. And so
Wow.
he's a sophomore at Harrison, and
Mm-hmm.
he went just to come down, and it was a very interesting conversation.
That's
So I
good.
want to get back to financial literacy because it's not anything I ever took in school. I had to
Mm-hmm.
kind of learn it the hard way. What do you
Yes.
think is the toughest thing that people don't understand or don't really apply when it comes to financial literacy?
So, as you said, this topic is never taught anywhere, and we have to learn by ourselves. And, like, particularly me, where I come from, they don't talk about money. We don't talk about money. And if we
Hmm.
talk about money, it's the conversation is how we don't have the money, lack of money, how we are poor, how we don't have anything. So, we kind of had to learn on our own, like you did. And, just because nobody taught us in school. And then with the mess we get into is we don't know how to deal with money when we get it. So we don't have a budget. We don't know, even if we have a little budget, we don't know how to save. We don't know how to invest. We don't know where to invest and how to do everything concerning the money. So we get the money and then we just distribute it in the way we think is the right way to distribute it. And then we
Hmm.
find out that we have no money to save for our future. We don't think about the future. We're just thinking about now. So we pay the bills, and then whatever is left, we go clubbing, we go doing other things, not thinking about the future, about the investing, and about saving.
That is so true. My grandkids, who are ages 4 to 12, they're
Hmm.
growing up in a time when we don't pull the dollars out and pay for things. We put it on this credit card, and they
Hmm.
don't actually see transactions. They don't
No.
see how much something costs, so they
Hmm.
kind of lose that perspective of the cost of things. Do
Hmm.
you see in the last like 10 years, has that evolved? Is that any worse than it was a few years before that? Or is it something new we have to be more aware of?
So it's something new that we have to be more aware of. And talking about everybody was using cash money. So when you went to the store, you had the cash money or the checks. The Americans mostly use the checks, but that has changed and it has evolved. Right now, we don't do transaction with cash money. We don't do transaction with checks. I don't even apply for checks because not unless I'm doing business transaction because nobody else is using checks.
Hmm.
So it has evolved, but what is going to happen is, and I see the problem is because not unless people have a way to track their money, because you're just swiping the card, you're just, uh, you know how many people swipe the card and they don't even know that they don't have money
Hmm. Oh,
because they have not kept track.
yeah.
So that's what is going to change, and then people are just going to use the money without even knowing how much do I have, how much do I owe, because maybe you swapped the card yesterday, but you said credit. So by today, You swiped a card of $300 yesterday. So you see as if you have $300, but you don't have it because we swiped a card yesterday and the transaction has not gone through. So if you're not keeping track, if you're not there constantly checking how much you have and how much is left, you're going to run into problems of paying overdraft fees,
Mm.
which is
Mm.
not funny because
Yes.
it's money that you could have avoided using and now you have used it because you never kept track because you're just using that card and you're just swiping it left, right, and center. And because nobody has taught you that you only use the money you have, because it's a credit, I can use it. I can use somebody else's money, but you don't remember that you're going to pay. And the other problem people don't know when it's a credit card, the amount of money that you owe compound. It does something we call compound interest, and it can work for you. It can work against you. And when you have a credit card, it's working against you. So by the end, you're stuck with that credit card forever because you can never be able to pay it back.
Mm. Do
Yeah.
you, when you were starting your venture, your journey into finance,
Mhm.
how long ago did you start, and what was the reason you started to make it part of what you do?
So as I said, I grew up in Kenya and I did economics in school, in
Hmm.
high school. So and that's when my journey for finances started. And when I graduated high school, I went and did accounting.
Hmm.
So the knowledge of money and how to organize it started way back when I graduated college, and then I had to work as an accountant. But I was working for people and I was not working for me. So
Hmm.
whatever, I kept the money, I budgeted the money for them, but I was not doing the same for myself. Then when I moved here, I was trying to see because I'm always thinking, what can I do to grow my money? So I came here and I was started looking. The only options I had is people telling me go to the bank, have a CD, have all those things. But so my journey started actually in 2018 when I found the true path of how I can grow my money uh, the right way, and where
Hmm.
I can grow my money without thinking that if the market was to shift, I'm going to lose all the money, where the money is protected and where the money I know it's very safe. And when I listened to that, to the person who was talking to me, because I saw somebody on Facebook and I told them I want to hear more. So it's somebody on Facebook. I've never met them, but I told them I told her I need to know more. So she sat me down. She walked me through the whole process, and when I listened to her, I knew that was what I've been looking for all these years, and I didn't get it. But now I got it, and I said, if I have not heard about it, so many people have not heard about it.
Hmm.
So I took it upon myself. I said, first of all, I said my community. And then I said, it's not only my community. I might think it's only my community that does not have this information, but it's everybody that needs to hear about it. So that's how kind of I started. When I looked for ways, I tried everything. I lost money in the process. But
Hmm.
now, when I came to a point of saying I'm not going to lose any more money, I needed to have a solution, and then I got it in 2018, and then I took it upon myself to do the same thing of education, educating people and bringing financial literacy to our homes.
Man, it's so good. I was listening to a person. I'm a part of Growth Day, and it's a lot of people, not only in finance, but they're all kinds of educators and coaches and teachers.
Mm-hmm.
And so she was sharing, we have these micro payments,
Mm-hmm.
through little subscription fees, micro, like this kind of fee. And all of a sudden she was going through it, and she hadn't used things for a year or so, but
Yep.
she had been paying for it. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember the exact, I know she said something about Rocket. Is there something you use to kind of identify those subscriptions that you may not be using, but they're charging you every single month, and you
Yeah.
just kind of let it go because it's so small?
So I usually use the locket, as they say, as she said, and I have another one. I don't. I think it's Bridget.
Mm-hmm.
Locket, you pay a subscription of $3 a month. It's just $3. So, but it keeps you on hook and look out for your money, because if you do a transaction that it's no it's not familiar with it, it's gonna tell you you did
Mm-hmm.
a transaction that it's uncategorized. So you know you have done something that you're not supposed to do. And if it's not you, you can always check and you can see whether it's you who made that transaction. If you make a bigger transaction than the money in the bank, they will tell you that will make you go off your randa. So I love, especially when I know I have used all my money to the limit, and they're gonna tell me you're going to go on an overdraft. So
Mm-hmm.
by then, now I start checking and looking to see what did I do and what did I not do.
Mm.
So yeah, those are the two things I use. And I think there's also Credit Karma. Credit Karma will also help you with your the things that you have not been able to pay,
Mm-hmm.
because maybe you forgot or whatever happened. So you can be able to pay and then create make your credit look better.
That's great.
Hmm.
Are you, AI has been coming on strong for the last few years.
Hmm.
Is there any applications in what you do? Are you using it in any way that's helping you kind of manage your finances?
I haven't gotten any.
You haven't?
Uh-uh.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's funny because I ask different ones, different people are different places.
Hmm.
What do you think when it comes to that area when I think it's like at age 1 to 7, we learn so much of our behavior.
Hmm.
And yes, we're not teaching it in school, but are there anything that you think people are learning early on that's not serving their future?
With the AI, especially our children are learning too much that they're not supposed to be learning.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope there's an AI program that is going to come to help them with their finances,
Mm-hmm.
because unfortunately, all what we are saying is things that are not going to help us. But is it a good thing? Yes, it's a good thing, because there are some things we can apply that is going to help us. But our children, I don't think they are getting the right materials so they can be able to help themselves in the future, especially financially.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What do you like when somebody is seeking some help and guidance?
Hmm.
What's the process like to work with you? Do they have to set up an appointment and you have a questionnaire, or how do you really determine whether they're a good client for you?
So we do something we call educational approach,
Hmm.
and then I go over everything that I do and why, and like including so it's a whole process of educating, because I
Hmm.
want to educate you first before you can even make a decision.
Hmm.
And then when we go through the education part, I got some questions I ask you. And then when I ask you those questions, depending on what you answer, mhm, and then we can sit down and do some recommendations and do some, like we can even sit down and do your something we call financial review. So we do, like, you go to the doctors. When you go to the doctors, you sit with the doctor. They ask you why you are here. They ask you all the symptoms. Why did you make an appointment? And then they come to a conclusion what is bothering you, and they give you a recommendation or a prescription. So with financial literacy, that's exactly what we do. We sit down with you, we see what you're doing with your money, what you would like to see in the future, and what journey what path would you like to take for you to get there. And then we do that financial review for you, and then we come and give you a recommendation.
Hmm.
Yeah.
What do you think when it comes to there's so much, like I never learned this till maybe 10 years ago,
Hmm.
that our W-2s
Hmm.
are one area, and then when you're self-employed and you have tax write-offs
Mm-hmm.
is another that our really tax structure was built around people having their own business. Do you ever refer or recommend people to start a business based on something they enjoy so they can have those tax advantages that seem to be out there for people?
So yes, and that's the best route to take because uh, as long as it's moral and ethical,
Mhm.
it is very right for everybody to have a 1099.
Mhm.
Because what we are doing, and unfortunately, that's how even every nation is built. They have built it to an extent that whatever you're giving them, if it's even more than what you're keeping, and there is some tax advantages that we can take. And when you're 1099, that's where the tax advantages come in because you can write off almost everything.
Mhm.
Do I advise you to go just open a thing that is just there doing nothing? No. You're gonna have to be doing something, at least bring some income in through that 1099, even if it's
Yes.
500, even if it's 1,000, whatever it is, but just start at 1099 so you can have the write-offs and then you take advantage of the tax advantages tools because they are there. Otherwise, you're going to be a slave for paying taxes.
Yes.
And we say if it's moral and it's in the IRS codes, it is more it's ethical and nobody's going to sue you. You're in the right path. And that's why so many people don't pay taxes just because they have known how to eliminate taxes or even to pay less.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah, that makes so much because I don't know if this is exactly right, but it's not what you make, it's what you bring home. And
Mm-hmm.
so if because whenever this was in the years past, you'd get a bonus, all of a sudden you look at how much was taken out of that bonus, and it's going like, whoa, it was just an eye opener that you thought you were going to get this gross bonus, but all of a sudden they took a lot more than you ever could imagine. So
I worked, now that you say that, I 2022, 2023, I worked at Keneston Hospital and I signed up a bonus for 10,000. You know how much I brought home?
tell me.
6,000.
Wow,
Four
40% came out.
4,000 went to the taxes.
Wow. Yeah, that's kind of a shocker
It
because
is.
you just really have no idea that that's at a higher tax bracket when you get a lump sum or a bigger
Mhm,
sum than your regular. What
mhm,
what would you say, what are you most excited about when you look to the future? What
mhm.
what is Virginia most excited about?
I'm excited about the future for me. I'm excited about knowing very well that I'm not just waiting to retire without knowing.
Mhm.
So, uh, so knowing very well, but that there is a path that I've taken, and I can be sure that is the right path. And if I follow it to the T, I'm going to retire with dignity because most people, I worked with so many people, and I've seen people just retire and they don't know where the money is going to come from. Some people retire thinking that they are going to live on their social security, but the social security is not enough. And then in the future, do we know whether that social security is going to be there or not?
Mm.
And then also people, we don't have pension anymore. So people uh, think that I have saved enough. Some have 401k, and when they get to the retirement, when they get their 401k, who knows how much the taxes they're gonna pay? Is they
Mm.
going to be low? Because you might have kept all this money, but the taxes are going to be so high. So it's like you worked for the government all those years,
Yes.
and now you don't have enough money, and that's why we fight people. They retire and then they go back to the workforce. So I'm excited to know that I have a path that I'm following to help me in my retirement, so I don't become a retirement project to my children.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
And
Mm-hmm.
it's so good. See if Virginia, because I thought it was a phone call coming in, but we lost your picture on the screen. So
Mm-hmm.
see if anything got adjusted so we could get your picture back, but it's turned blank. And it
Oh,
was
okay.
during that explanation. I thought it was a phone call coming in, but that would be a real long phone call. I see yeah, I saw your picture of the,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not the video. See
So
if
you
the
don't see
video,
me?
yes, hit video or something. That I think that'll activate the video because
Okay.
it's turned blank. I can hear your voice.
Okay, but you can't see me.
No, I see a picture of you. That's better than nothing. So if you don't see, we'll just put your picture up there and
Yeah, I don't see where to go. I'm
okay,
sorry.
just put your picture up there. You just had it a second ago. That way we can see you at least on the screen. Okay, yeah, that's good right there.
Okay, but you still can
What?
hear me.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, I'm
So,
sorry about that.
no, that's fine. What if you had to advise or consult a
Mm-hmm.
20-year-old Virginia?
Mm-hmm.
Knowing what you know today,
Mm-hmm.
what advice would you give her?
Thank you for that question because I usually ask that question to me.
Oh, good.
The advice I would give Virginia at 20 is to start saving now because um, uh, it would do me a lot of good if I started 20, 40, 40 years ago. No, 30 years ago. I'm not that old. And 30 years ago. So it would have done me a lot of advantage today because I would have already managed to save enough and not even saving. Let me not even use the word saving because you can save towards your retirement, but you can invest towards your retirement.
Hmm.
So if I started a 20-year-old, if I started $100 only, today I could be a millionaire.
Mm, mm,
But now because I didn't know this, I started late. And now I'm trying to catch up. so if I would go back to 20 years, I would start investing immediately and then choose well on where to invest because it's not every place that you invest that is going to make you a millionaire. Some
mhm,
places you can invest, yeah, you did a good job, but if the market shifts and it goes down, you're going to lose all your investments. So
mhm,
I encourage me to invest my money and
mm,
invest it where it is well protected.
That's so good.
Mhm.
Compound interest was, I probably was a little bit older
Mhm.
when I discovered it.
Mhm.
Share with our viewers, like, what does it mean to compound interest and compounding your wealth that you might be able to share with them?
So that's a good question. And when it comes to compound, and it's just accumulating your money and growing your money.
Hmm.
So, and they have done all these researches, and they have used a formula we call a formula of rule of 72. So rule of 72, it just means whatever amount of money you're getting on your interest, like if you're keeping your money in the bank and you're getting 1% in the bank to grow that money. So it's showing you if you take 72 and divide by 1, it's going to be 72. So it's going to take 72 years for your money to double. So the rule of 72 is where the problem is and where we don't understand. But if somebody understands it very well, it means where it just show you how long it's going to take you to double your money.
Mm,
So if you kept 10,000 today and you have a rate of 7 point, let's say 7.2, so you have 7 years to double that money.
mm. Yeah,
So
that's
yeah.
that's so I had heard this, like, if you had $1 million
Mm-hmm.
or in a briefcase or a penny
Mm-hmm.
doubling every day for 30 days, which would you take? And when you see the doubling, I think the year day 26 or 7,
Mm-hmm.
it just starts to grow more than your million, but
Mm-hmm.
people just they want that money right away, and they don't
Yes.
realize how that doubling effect can really start to grow. Yeah,
Yeah.
he was a person, and he just taught me this, about stocks, and this is
Mm-hmm.
stock advice, but it was a very simple formula: don't sell. And every time we sell, we have to pay taxes on it. So
Mm-hmm.
he would just buy and hold, buy,
Mm-hmm.
hold,
And
and let it
hold.
just compound. Now,
Mm-hmm.
granted, you want to pick good stocks and solid ones, but the whole thing is like, I have a friend now that's doing penny stocks, and it's back and forth selling.
Mm-hmm.
Every time you sell, you got to report the capital gains. So you're constantly paying taxes on, even though you might be doing well and getting better, but if you just buy and hold, oh, there we go. There we go. You're back. Oh, you came back there for a second. Dang.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you came back for a second. We got a flash of Virginia there. So it's okay. That's okay. We got your voice. Okay. So like when you think of community,
Mm-hmm.
because I know you through Rebecca, and she's got a wonderful community. Talk to us about what you have seen that's been helpful for you as community. What's that mean to you?
Community is everything because you, uh, the kind of business we do, we need people.
Hmm.
And so by participating in the community and building that community relationship, that's what make us to grow. So if the community is everything to me, so I gotta get there, talk to people, build networks, and then know people and know where they are so I can be able to help them. So without connection, without the community, then I cannot grow.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's so good. How do you grow, like personally? Do you have some things you're doing that are helping Virginia grow?
Yes, I do personal growth, and what I do mostly is reading books, and also, uh, so I don't work by myself. I have a group of people that we work together. It's a whole company. So we usually have some trainings uh, twice a week. So I go there every twice a week, and then also we have groups here and there that we log in and we just talk about the business and where you are lacking and how you can be able to do what you can be able to do so you can be able to pick yourself up. And also we have also meetings in maybe out of state where we go and get trained. And
Hmm.
yeah, so you have to keep on growing every day.
Mm, yes,
Yes.
so true. I want to be respectful of your time.
Hmm.
So, how can people? I have a question after this. How can people get a hold of Virginia?
So I am on Facebook, I'm on LinkedIn, and I just go by the name Virginia, and also my phone number. I can, if I can be able to give
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
is 781
Hmm.
720 9669. So 781 720 9669. And if you go on Facebook and LinkedIn, my name is Virginia Kimani. That's it.
Awesome,
Mm.
awesome. Virginia, what would be the one thing that you would want our viewers to take home from our time on this podcast?
So I would urge them to take financial literacy very, very deep.
Hmm.
And no matter how much you know, maybe there's something else you're missing in your in your path. So if you can be able to plug in and learn more, because you'll never, every day you learn something new. So you will never stop learning. So I would encourage everybody to plug in and look deeper into financial literacy. And if you have questions, please ask the right people, professional, and don't just depend on random people and don't depend on uh, Google and everything else because there are people who are well educated, and they can be able to educate everybody.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
that is so good. Finding professionals to help you along the journey. That is so wise. Thank you,
Mm-hmm.
Virginia. I want to thank you for being a guest on our podcast. We appreciate you coming on and
Mm-hmm.
sharing your journey with us, and we appreciate you very much. And thank
Mm-hmm.
you so much for being on our podcast.
Thank you very much, Pete, for even allowing me and giving me your platform, because this is a dream come true. I've never done one, so this is the first one on a podcast. So thank you very much, and
Oh,
I hope I did not let you down.
no, you didn't. You came through with flying colors. And thank you so much, Virginia.
You're welcome. Have a good one. Thank you very
Okay,
much.
you're welcome.